this is the type of shit I told him back now. Young and now king, trip the gold like a sack. Ducking from the laws with the dogs, bring the scat out. Talking all that shit, you sound like Charles while I'm Shaq. Mike Checkity, Mike Checkity, Mike Checkity. You heard? Coming in with that big noise. Hey, Cats gotta come in with that big noise, you heard?
Something like that. You already know what it is, man.
You know what time it is, man. It's your boy Word from the Word of Clarity podcast. Back at it again with my boy Kenny G. How Cats feeling down there, dog? Cats all right?
Oh man, definitely, bro. Definitely. Glad to be back for another one, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm always down for the chop session, man. You know what I mean? So definitely feeling good, man. What's going on with you, G?
Man, chilly chill, dog. Back at it again. Today in St. Louis, dog. Look like we at the 50 degrees mark. Crazy. Bipolar up here, man. Weather be all over the place. Other day we was down in the 20s, couple snow flurries, dog. What's up, man? Cats ready to be outside in the summertime and spring? What we doing?
Listen, man, I mean, yeah, but you know, here in Houston, dog, the summer nasty, bro. Like,
what you mean? Hold on, the summer nasty? Like hot nasty you talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that weather disgusting out here, bro. Like it gets to the point where dudes just want to be outside to be inside. So you looking for a spot, you looking for a lounge, you doing whatever, you know what I mean? Cats try to throw festivals out here, but
right.
You don't really want to hit those because it's so hot, you know what I mean? So
wow.
Yeah.
So hey, y'all don't got a big festival down there like Lollapalooza or you know, cause Coachella, Rolling Loud don't come to none of the cities down there? I would imagine y'all got a big enough market to where one city down there, Rolling Loud, would come through.
I mean, we got South by, you know what I mean? South by.
Oh yeah, that's it. Hey, y'all got what's that other one called? ASL or ACL? What's the other joint y'all got?
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah, we got two joints that I know cats in the city are like pulling up to, but yeah, we don't get some of the other ones I really would want.
Honestly, bro, I think South by Southwest is the best of all that type of stuff when it come to festivals or conventions. I mean, it's all things in one. You know what I mean? You got business savvy type of speakers, you got the artists, you got the managers, the labels, you got art joints going on. Yeah, man, that time I went down to South by in 2018 and I ain't never experienced nothing like that, dog. It was amazing, dog. Like you just get so much access to everything in one place. You know, the stars, you got the people behind the artists that, you know, that's a part of their team, able to rub elbows with them. I love South by, dog. I'm actually planning to South by Southwest just probably like the last 2 weekends was just passed. But next year, over the next couple ones, bro, I'm planning to make that mug a huge impression on my artistry for sure, dog. Like, got to, dog.
Yeah, I think I mean, South by Southwest is the place to do it. I will say, for people like us, you know what I'm saying, the networking aspect of South by is also the crazy piece as well, bro. Like, there's no better networking than a spot like that where all the artists, everybody is all in the same place. Everybody's going to lunch nearby. So you're going to catch somebody you know or somebody you don't know to be able to have that convo, introduce yourself, and make an impression. So, yeah, for that reason, facts. You 100% about that.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, dog. We back at it again, G. Man, last night, dog, I was over the past weekend, bro. I caught up on all kind of shows, bro. I'm caught up on Snowfall. You know what I'm saying? Did you check out that Swarm yet? I know we talked a little bit about that the other day. Did you check out a couple episodes yet?
I started it. And then couldn't really get into it, so I have no commentary yet. I haven't even gotten through a full episode. I started, got into something else, ended up having to move on from it. But look, anything Glover's behind, I'm with. So you already know, like I'm trying to check it out. Atlanta is one of my favorite, TV series of all time. I thought that was absolutely amazing. Catching up on everything, all that. So yeah, I'm big on Snowfall. To me, I know I made a bold claim in our group chat. I guess I'll bring it live so it can be documented. But for me, bro, from top to bottom, Snowfall is probably the best show on television for me, bro. Like every week, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe this happened. The way that they built the story arc, the way that they built the characters,
Yeah.
the way that everything ties together. I feel like it's close to flawless, bro. You know what I'm saying? And also, my man, my Idris, man, Damson. Damson is tough, bro. Yo, when that man said, what's my favorite joint from that?
You talking about this season or overall?
Overall, when he said, and I'll be damned to talk about how another nigga talk.
How another nigga talk? Oh yeah, the end of it was crazy. Why he do my boy Leon like that, dog?
Dog. Or he get real mad and he'll be like, the same way I do now, protecting y'all. Like he start getting so angry, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I feel like the last episode that just was last week. He was like, let me remind y'all who I am. He got in that bag when he was talking to Kane, and Kane ain't like how he burnt this dude's face. And he was like, hey, man, he ain't going to play with my money. You know what I'm saying? If he play with yours, that's your stuff, but that ain't what he doing for me. And then Leon is shrugging his shoulders since he been back from Africa. Yeah, I say he had to take out what's old boy name? I think his name Big D or something like that.
Big D, yeah.
I was like, ain't no way Leon man, Big D built like a linebacker in the NFL, dog. Like, that boy's shoulder, if he was on his frame, his shoulders would be out the frame, bro. Like,
but let's be real though.
What's up?
I don't know if you remember, but before Leon went to Africa, Leon was that dude. Not just in the street, like you know, with them pistols, but with them hands too. Leon was the guy. When anybody says, "Yo, I got a hitter who can take care of you," Leon was that hitter that everybody else be referencing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make me call my shooter to go get the job done. That was Leon. So. Like, I understand Big D is freaking 6'4", 2, whatever. But at the same time, though, Leon been the type to go get them dudes and take care of business. So it didn't surprise me.
Nah, it didn't surprise. His courage ain't. But I'm like, dog, the stature difference was crazy, bro. Cause that boy Leon, man, you know, he went to Africa. I'm like, man, he just going back, man, cause it ain't nothing. But hey, he like, hey, look, man, I'm back. You know, if we gonna be here, we gotta make our stamp on something, dog. So, yeah, man, it was exciting watching that, man. I've been watching The Last of Us too, and the noise that was coming from that was crazy. So I had to get into that mug. I actually think it's just a pretty solid show. I don't think it's like Cat saying that mug the best series on television right now, but I think it's cool. I think a lot of it is coming from the fact that they got a game and it is keeping the storyline pretty accurately to the game, so you got a lot of gamers love they're infatuated with the actual show. But it's cool. If I'm a Walking Dead fan, so it's giving me a lot of reminiscence of that. Walking Dead at a time, bro, it's still probably a top 10, top 5 show for me. But that mug, I don't know if it'd ever be another apocalypse, zombie apocalypse type of show like that mug, bro. I mean, that mug.
I'm gonna say this.
What's
I'm
up?
Glad you said that. I got a show for you, bro, that I feel like can rival Walking Dead. Now, it's early, so it's only 2 seasons in.
Okay.
But in my opinion, as a Walking Dead fan myself, this has been the only show that made me go, maybe Walking Dead isn't as, though it's great, I think you can agree with this, even though we haven't had this conversation yet. I think you'll probably agree. Walking Dead, as great as it is, definitely a top 10 show on television for sure. Had a lot of dry spots throughout its seasons. So you would look up and almost feel like, man, 40 these episodes of this, them in the woods, scratching their head, arguing with each other, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like 4 episodes of this, you know what I mean? And then something big would happen, you know, once they finally got out or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a show that I feel like it's the same premise as Walking Dead, but in my opinion,
Z Nation?
No.
What's that?
This is better, bro. It's actually called Black Summer on Netflix.
Nah, I haven't watched that one. I'm familiar with it, but no, man, it's a couple of them out there, dog.
Yo, no, I'm telling you.
2 seasons in, huh?
Black Summer? If Black Summer keep going the way that it's going, oh yeah. Yeah.
Same premise. Zombie apocalypse, everything.
Yep. It's Walking Dead without the filler.
Okay.
Every episode got Every episode got like a, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I want. And so, yeah, there's no wasted content. That's the only problem I be having with Walking Dead. Fire all the way around, character development, storyline, all of that.
Yeah.
Just some episodes you be like, we didn't need that. I
Oh no,
guess.
that's
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
That's one of the biggest things. Is yeah, it's some fillers there. I think the show should have already ended. It's too many seasons. Like I think they're on like season 11. Like I currently don't watch it no more, but I can still have it in my top 10 just off of what I've watched. You know what I'm saying? Like that mug is ridiculously high, but yeah, man, I don't like nothing. I think a perfect show is, I mean, it's regarded as the perfect show as Breaking Bad, 5 seasons. But I don't remind.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Breaking Bad all time. That's my number one. But I don't mind a series or a TV show maybe going like 7, 8 seasons. I can see that. But once you start hitting them double digits, it's like nah. We gotta put a buck on this summer, man. But yeah, man, a lot of TV talk. You know, we gonna get into some movies later on, dog. But you know why we here, dog? It's always a music and sport podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how much we've talked about Hove on the podcast thus far, but
Which is
man,
crazy to me.
I know it's
Wow.
crazy. It's crazy because if you were in the makings of or while we were in the makings of starting this podcast and trying to create the identity and the DNA and what we wanted it to be around, it was around timeless talks or timeless conversations and debates that must be debated. And we finally heard integrating that into the hard wiring of the podcast, and this is definitely one of those questions that make you think. You know what I mean, and make you have to travel back in the history of hip hop. And did Jay-Z ever run an era of rap? You know, we gonna start with that, but before we get in that, dog, a couple of years ago, man, there was somebody online that actually put up something that was quite interesting. I had to go back and grab it. And I wanted to show that mug to us before we jumped into kind of our thoughts. The Twitter account by Alana the Queen X. Jay-Z, she claimed, never ran rap. At that time, I think it was a big uproar. But she provided the year spans of when she think people dominated and who years was what. As you see, back in 95, 96, she started that with Pac. 97 Big, 98 DMX, 99 to 2001 Eminem, 02 to 03 we got St. Louis Finest Nelly, 03, 05 50, 06 Wayne, 07 11 06 Kanye, 07 to 11 Wayne, and then 11 and pretty much till now Drake. You know, you still can extend Drake's run until now. Probably, which is insanity, right? We talked about that before. You gave Drake pretty much 15 more years after the day.
I did, bro. I did. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What you think about before we kind of get into the question, man? What you think? How do you think that chart or that graphic was, man? Is that pretty accurate when you look at the numbers or in the years, or do you dispute a couple of those years, dog? I think Alana did a pretty good job just to start it off. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I mean, I look at this list and I say to myself, 95 and 96 absolutely was Pac for sure. 97 was absolutely big. 98, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. DMX. 92, I believe 2000 and 01 was the Eminem show.
Yeah, you talking about the albums? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally doing it off the top of my head too, no notes. Country Grammar, period,
Yep.
absolutely. Get What You Die Trying and the G Unit Beg for Mercy album. Kanye's College Dropout, and then Wayne has his run. I would say this though, bro. I would like to probably fit. I think it's pretty accurate and it's well done. However, you know me, bro. I would probably argue that Jay-Z ran alongside Eminem for those 2 to 3 years, because if I'm not mistaken, that's when Hard Knock Life, and if not Hard Knock Life, one of the Blueprints was out. I think the Blueprint was out. So you can't tell me that there was an era where Jay-Z wasn't remotely at the top. And I can even argue when Black Album dropped, which was inside of Wayne's run,
Yeah.
people were definitely checking for Hov then as well. And not just he's around. No, Hov is the GOAT. Can't believe he returned and gave us this. Because the Black Album was something transformative, especially after a week behind body of work that he gave us from Kingdom Come. And I remember how I felt at the time. I was like, bro, he's gonna give us Kingdom Come. Or no, Kingdom Come was after the Black Album. I apologize. But I remember saying to myself, like, Jay-Z's gonna go out. This is his '97 push off the Bill Russell mid-range jumper for the NBA championship. That was his. That to me, that was his defining moment. Black Album. Timbaland and Pharrell pretty much produced that album in Just Blaze, almost a three-way split in the production. In my opinion, like that was when Hov was at his best. So for me, I'm gonna have to give him those eras personally. But I do think that her graphic was accurate, and you could absolutely argue that he didn't have a run where he absolutely dominated or was at the top. But for me, I'm gonna give him those years. For me, that's what.
So you talk about. So you think those years, and I think that was 98 to 2000. And yeah. So 98, he dropped Hard Night Life Volume 2. Mm-hmm. Volume 3 follows up, and then Blueprint in 2001, which is a lot of some of his higher regard records or classics. It's crazy because Reasonable Doubt came out in 96, but it didn't really get a lot of love until a couple years after it came out, which Reasonable Doubt is a classic to me as well. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I think her graphics is pretty accurate. It can be argued. It's not blasphemous. Like back in the day when that came out in 2017, there was a lot of uproar. And I know, like when we talk about this, when you talk about any East Coast premier artist, New York is just ultimately the greatest bias that ever existed. Like the East Coast, when it comes to, it becomes just astronomical bias. You know what I mean? I be like, bro, come on now, y'all. Y'all got to get outside of just y'all region. Yes, y'all are the origins and the capital of where things started from for hip hop and rap. But that don't give y'all the right to just like denounce other great runs and acts and things of that nature. Like you got to keep it a beam. I think this question also could be looked at as like, because I know a run is a lot, but has he had a year? Is similar question. Has he been a number one guy? I seen that question pop up a lot of times. You know, every time they do the top 10 list, like I remember it's been a video of people kind of arguing that, and Hov kind of was never the number one, but always existed in like that top 3 to 5 space. You know what I mean? So I think it's pretty accurate because I think most people or a lot of people, you know, Eminem numbers were just astronomical, and those are his premier projects and classics. You know what I mean? So I think that'll be what people will argue to go against that. I personally probably would say Hov probably had at least, you know, I don't think he's had a dominant run where he just shut everybody out. But I think you can say he's ran alongside as the top 1A, 1B type of guy. Probably in that space you talking about with M. Because after that, it gets pretty dominated by people for spans of years. You know what I mean? Like 50 was nuts. Wayne, of course, was nuts. Ye, he comes into the game. Nelly took the world by storm. You know what I mean? Representing the Midwest. I mean, that was just, and after that, it's just kind of like sold up after that. So I would have to say it'd have to be prior to 2002 and 2001, and if he did have a span. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to believe, and I don't want people to misconstrue this question with trying to take away from any of the greatness of Hov, because I mean, you asked me. Hov is the one that I outright would say is number one all time hip hop artist, rapper, all time. Like I think he has the most classics out of all the rappers. His longevity speaks to just black excellence and just dominance, to always being, you know, somebody that can provide great projects and classics even in his latter years. You know, he's extended the lifetime of a rapper. I think he's the first. Is he the first rapper in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Right?
Yes.
Something just, so I mean, he's steadily being a trailblazer and being an example that even, guys like I think who's my GOAT, like the Drakes, I know that he's still looking at a Hove aspiring to do some of the things that he's doing. You know what I mean? So this ain't to try to take away from that. I just think this was always a very interesting and relevant question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to believe because, a lot of people kind of have Jay, depending on if Pac and Bigger in your list. A lot of people have Jay 1, 2, 3, the lowest on most people's list. So to think that he's 3, let's just say at the very least, but doesn't have an era in which he dominated by himself is almost nuts. But it's pretty close to true, bro.
Yeah.
What also gets lost is Jay's longevity. So Jay from '96 to, I would say Jay was probably been less active over the last couple of years. So let's just say '96 to 2020. Yeah. That's incredible.
444 came out in 2017, so that's already what.
Oh, no. Okay, let's do 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, 96 to 2017, which would be 21 years?
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. The only one who's going to eclipse that, if he wants to continue, is Drake. That's it.
Yeah.
So, you could argue Wayne, but Wayne would still have some years to put in. But I think we see Wayne being Wayne, but also turning more into a legacy act by choice.
Yeah, I want to have that conversation one day. I believe Wayne can break through the seal of just being a legacy act. I really do. Wayne got a certain bone in this body that other rappers don't got, dog. Like, and he still punches at the highest with the highest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a conversation we gonna have, though. I think he got to regain some of his cultural relevance and dominance. And I believe he's one that can put his head to that assignment and accomplishment, dog. Yeah, I want to say that, but no, I agree with a lot of what you're saying about Hov too, though. Yeah, I never understand how anybody can have him really at 3 underneath the guys you just named, but yeah, it's really hard to believe that if you don't have him top 3, I can really listen to you.
Yeah, if you don't got
him top 3, I mean,
you and Hov either have personal bad blood or your list is invalid. Like so one of the dudes,
or you like 13 and under or something.
Yeah, one of the dudes I really respect who doesn't have Hov top 3 is 50. But him and 50 have legitimate, like...
Yeah, I think 50 trolling, yeah. He trolling. Yeah. His takes about Eminem and all that, true bias and what he's done to his career, I understand it, but I think 50 outside of that in his right space and mind, he gonna have to give it up for Hov. He know that.
Absolutely.
He know that. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But, that's where I'm at with that, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, that's a good take on Hov, man. We definitely Hov gotta give us some more stuff to talk about too. We ain't got too much to talk about when it come to Hov, but
I had the verse of the year though. I'll give him that. He almost had the verse of the year.
God did, yeah. I think we did talk about him. Yeah, we did talk about him on that podcast. That was the first episode then. Yeah, yeah. Interesting, man. Don't kill Alana. I'm not sure. Who the young lady was, but I give her kudos for even stepping out and doing that. I think that was the first time that somebody really kind of tackled that show. But y'all know what time it is, man. It's a music and sport podcast. We always talking about music and sports. On the sports side, we gonna kind of double dudge today. Go from the music to the sports back to the something else, you know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
Most underrated NBA players of all time. Man, when you say that, dog, who come to your mind off the top, my G?
Ooh. Dudes who I felt like got some accolades but weren't really appreciated wholeheartedly in their era for whatever reason. And so if I'm judging by that criteria for me, the first dude I'm gonna mention may surprise you, but I think he was a much better player than we talked about.
I got somebody that's surprising too, but go ahead.
Well, this won't be probably as surprising as yours, but I'm talking about, we talk about this guy. He is still culturally relevant
okay.
to basketball, but just not for his play on the court per se.
Who was that? Now, who we
So,
got, man? Do I need to get a drum roll going? Let me see if I can.
Probably not. Probably
Okay. All right, what we got?
So the dude I think was one of the most underrated basketball players, not just who he is outside of that,
Yeah.
is Vince Carter, bro.
Wow.
I think Vince Carter doesn't get a lot of the recognition. He was considered the most talented basketball player in his era for a number of years.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't talk about Vince outside of the dunking, outside of who he is athletically, outside of his cultural relevance in the contest, and maybe even some of the things he's done with some of those battles against AI and stuff like that in the playoffs. But a lot of people don't talk about Vince Carter, the basketball player. Vince Carter, the basketball player, was cold, bro. Injuries kind of derailed him from being all that he should have been, because by the time he gets to New Jersey, he's had 2 knee surgeries by then. But dog, as a player, Vince was on the rise. And once his shot came into, like some of them later years in Toronto, he almost was virtually unstoppable. Vince should have been. We talk more about T-Mac's ability on the floor than we do Vince. But even T-Mac has interviews where he says, I don't know a more talented guy just based off natural talent than Vince Carter. And so...
Okay. Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah. So one of the dudes I feel like doesn't get much mention in the culture, and I think he's underrated from the standpoint of what his actual game did, despite him maybe not reaching some of the heights winning wise that may have propelled him had he won more and stuff like that. I think Vince is a guy we should talk about more as far as basketball. Go ahead.
What was that year that him and the New Jersey Nets they made it to an Eastern Conference Finals, right?
They did.
With Kidd and who was out on it? Was Richard Jefferson there still? Was he over there?
Ooh, I can't tell.
Let me pull him up right
he
quick.
was.
New Jersey.
Look up that roster. Yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey. I liked him over there. He had the headband on. New Jersey Nets Conference Finals.
The problem is, man, Vince caught too many injuries at pivotal times when he was really going crazy. Like Vince had a couple of streaks where he was on like a 40-point streak for a little while, and then bang, he'd go out with a knee or something like that, and then he'd have to.
That boy said bang. Yeah, so they had J Kidd. Of course they had. Hold on, I'm trying to see what this nigga name at. VC, was he on there? Hey, I'm trying to see if this nigga Vince Carter was even on the squad. I see Richard Jefferson. Let me see.
So okay, that might have been a different team then.
Atlantic Division. Finished first in Atlantic Division. They was 49-33.
Yeah.
Conference. Let me see if they was expected.
Was VC already gone by that time?
VC must have been out of there. They went to the conference finals. They Oh yeah, I think this the team my what's the name would be? My Lakers be. Yeah, he wasn't on that squad.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, this 03.
He wasn't on that squad.
He wasn't on that squad.
Yeah, he wasn't on that.
New Jersey Nets. Let me see them the following year.
I think he was there before. Or maybe he was there the following year. But I think he was there before, wasn't he? Or no? No, he probably was there later.
Yeah.
He probably was there later.
It looks like it because I can't see him on them. That was a finals team. I know he ain't never been to a finals, right?
Never been to a finals.
No.
And that's another thing, man. It's always tough because no matter how well you play, if you've never been to a finals, it's hard.
You know, what's your take on that? Do you like that or no?
What do I like? What?
Like if you ain't been to a finals, you know, you kind of looked at a certain way that where your career is hurt.
You want to know why? I'm actually probably surprised you. I hate that. You want to know why?
Why? A lot of your players suffer from that.
No, I'm thinking of a dude that we both love and respect.
Who's
Damian
Dame?
Lillard.
Yeah.
If Damian Lillard never makes it to a finals, that should be no indictment on how good we know Damian Lillard is. But he may be the dude I'm talking about 10 years from now, where we have to say, I wish y'all knew how good he was.
Yeah, he definitely gonna be in this underrated conversation. Oh, he gonna be like he's already most underrated right now, currently all time. He probably gonna, if he don't make it to the finals and get a chip in there like that, he gonna definitely be one of the most underrated for sure. Like just because he ain't got no MVPs, he ain't got no championships, only been to one conference finals. He plays in Portland, like all that stuff matters. You know what I mean? He plays in Portland.
And that hurts, bro, because if we were talking current players, when I think of most underrated, I'm talking about your career is over, so now we kind of have to talk about you in hindsight. Dame still has the opportunity to change that, so I didn't put him on my list because he would absolutely be number one for me as far as underrated. I think Damian Lillard to me, I know it's going to sound super blasphemous, but I just love Dame this much.
I already know it. Here we go. Come on.
Damian Lillard to me is every bit as good as the Steph Currys in the world, bro. Personally. Every bit.
Here we go. You always want to use Steph as your attack master, huh?
Nah, I love Steph, but I'm just saying, bro, he's every bit as good as Steph Curry, bro. The problem is Damian Lillard has never gotten the floor to showcase that. And I'm telling you, I really feel like give Dame Giannis to somebody like that in Milwaukee. Dame would have 3 or 4 rings, bro. I'm telling you he would. He's that guy, bro. Yeah. Listen. This is how, and I know we got to get back on topic. I'm gonna just say this quick story real quick because I think the pod needs it. I'll never forget when Austin Rivers was talking about the series or the game. I think me and you had a whole group chat during this time.
Yeah.
And a game against the Trailblazers and the Nuggets in the playoffs went to like triple overtime. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And Austin Rivers said it got to a point. It was incredible. He was talking about Austin Rivers was like, bro, we pulled out the game. He said, but I want to let y'all know right now, before I even talk about the win, I want to talk about Damian Lillard. He said, we were praying for him to miss. He said it got bro. They said it got to the point where Dame was crossing half court and just letting it go. We were sending 2, 3, even in some cases 4 defenders at him to trap him. He would step back. He would step back, dribble to the right, and pull again. He said the dude came down 10 straight times and pulled for 3, bro, and didn't miss. He said when he finally missed one, he said, bro, when he finally missed one, I almost had to remember that the dude was human because he was insane. Like, that's how good Damian Lillard is, bro.
Yeah.
When an NBA player who has seen it all is saying, I forgot dude was human. He's nuts. You know what I'm saying? But we may never talk about him in that fashion if he doesn't play on some of the biggest stages. So, free Dame Lillard, but my bad, bro. I just feel like we need to talk about it.
That was worth it, man. Dame now, he's definitely, man, I want the best in for him to have better opportunities, man. Like you said, man, put him next side of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid. Like if Dame was James Harden, I would book them to go get the finals. Like
what?
If Damian Lillard was in the spot of James Harden, oh my God. I mean, it'd be almost just insanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he's everything you want in big crunch time stage. Everything's on the line. Dame is that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks for those moments to be the guy. He don't, some guys run away. Some guys, it falls in their lap and they happen to be. No, he's the guy. He wants to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, back to the question though, Doug. Somebody that I had in mind that gets a bad rep. You know what I'm saying? He's well decorated. I don't know why most people don't like the guy. I ain't gonna say that because at one point I didn't like the guy, and I may not be the most fond of him. But I've had a chance to meet this guy in real life, and I gave it to him when pause. I let him have it when pause again when I met him in person, bro. Because anybody that know me, it's Team Mamba mentality on it. You know what I'm saying? I had to let him know. Dwight effing Howard, dog. I think he's underrated though, man. I think one of the things to point to that I feel like they really robbed him of is not getting on that 75th anniversary team. We speaking about somebody like Dame, which I think Dame is deserving of it. But, one would say Dwight Howard, for one, has a chip, not as the number one, but he played a pivotal part with my Lakers in the bubble. And then he also led his team to a finals again versus my Lakers, took an L to my boy Kobe and Pau Gasol. But, he took out a LeBron James. I want to say an MVP LeBron James in the Eastern Conference Finals. That team shot astronomical, though I will say that he had some pieces over there. Jameer Nelson had a coming out party. Rayford Austin, he had a coming out party when Jameer Nelson went down. Hito Turkoglu, Rashad Lewis. I mean, they had snipers. Yeah. They had snipers. Hey, my boy Kyle, he'll let you know they shot something like 66 behind the arc for the entire series. I said, yeah, it was something like that. it was something crazy. But and then he's also a defensive workhorse, 2-time defensive player. Probably like one of the greatest rebounders of all time. I want to say he's a rebound leader multi times, and he's been one of the best bigs on both sides of the ball in the era that he kind of played. You know what I mean? Shaq always kills him. You know what I mean? For just never being, I guess, what he expected of him to be. He made sure he didn't give him that Superman name. I think Giannis is the first person he actually gave that to. But man, yeah, I think he still doesn't really get brought up in that big man all-time great category, and other names may even come up before him, and they may be less decorated, less longevity. He's played quite a while. He came in 1 year after Brian, 2004, Rookie of the Year. I mean, he has a lot. He has a lot. And I think he don't get as much, but I know a lot of people don't like him. But back to that story, when I met him, man, I went to the 2017 finals. 2017 to 2018 in Cleveland, and he was on the show setup of First Take. Whenever the finals come around, they always pull up to whatever city, and it was me and Kyle. We had a chance to be up there. We was like the first cats in line because we knew every place they was gonna be at the restaurant. We was following the Twitter, whatever, and so we first in line. We there before everybody get there, and Dwight Howard is gonna be a guest on there one day. Or the day we was there. And so he's standing off to the side, and we was kind of close enough to be able to kind of have a conversation. I'm like, we having a good time talking or whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, so when the last time you talked to Kobe, Dad? That boy's face went from the biggest smile to just like a meme, like, oh yeah, that's the end of the conversation, bro. Like, he was hot, dog, and I kept asking him. I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't care how much fun we had, bro. When the last time you talked to Kobe, bro? At this time, I don't care nothing about Dwight Howard. This after the stint of him being with my Lakers and he was playing horrible for us. I knew he didn't want to hear that, dog. So I had to take advantage of it, man. But still, I think Dwight, he definitely is underrated, man. I still got to give him his flowers and kudos, man. Even though he ain't one of my favorites or nothing, dog. But I think he belongs in that conversation, yo.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%. I think he's one of the guys that should be talked about a little bit more. Some of that got to be a personality thing too, bro. And a stigma about who Dwight Howard is as far as the thing in his chest, man. Like Paul's like, does he have the heart? Does he have the dedication? Does he have, the dog mentality? Is he a killer at heart? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason for him, but
that boy
shouldn't.
That boy over in Shanghai averaging what, 90, 20, and 20? Hey, I see that boy. It was a stat sheet that came up, a box score. That boy's numbers. I said, "What is this, man? NBA Jam, arcade. What we doing over there, dog?" He getting his bread though, man. He's still chasing at his dreams. I commend him, man.
I commend him. He is, for sure. And so hopefully he get another opportunity in the league. I think he can still play, still offer something to a squad. So yeah, why not? Why not, man? Somebody in the league should pick up Howard.
For the older cats, man, for the older head or the older crowd that may be chiming in, I did take the time to look up some lists, kind of get a feel of what the historians of the game kind of felt, and I was quite kind of surprised, but it kind of made sense when I thought about it and kind of how they regard it. I'm not too sure about this one because he was way past my era. I regard him as somebody, but Dominique Wilkes was actually on a couple of the lists that I seen. He's named in the 50 greatest players of all time. Averaged 25 points per game, 10 consecutive seasons. That's insane. I mean, just to think of that, it's not even too many cats in the league. You can say right now that's done that, right? You got to think about Bron, maybe KD for sure. It's not too many cats. It's 25 a season for 10 consecutive seasons is hard, fam. You got to sustain a certain level of greatness to do that. Never wins a chip, though. That's probably where he probably falls down a lot. Number 2, I seen Scotty was on the list. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can understand that. This one I really felt. Dennis Rodman. I felt that one for sure. Yeah.
Dennis, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Listen, I think still the only player to have multiple games of 30 rebounds ever in NBA history. Leading rebounder for like 7 consecutive years or something crazy like that. All defensive teams, multiple defensive player of the year. And these are just off the top of my head of like thinking about Dennis Rodman's career. The fact that he's not like talked about the way that he should be is low-key blasphemy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad he's getting that. I know you're gonna enjoy that Jonathan Majors 48 Hours film that's coming. Yeah. I know you're gonna enjoy that one.
Yeah, I think if there's anybody to play him, you want somebody as talented as Majors to play you, bro.
Yeah.
We'll probably see nothing about the court in that movie, but
that's fine, man. I want to see the life and the lifestyle. That boy had a lifestyle, didn't he?
Man, that boy was living, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, perfect segue, dog. We getting into this last convo right here. We music and sports, but we culture as well. So we gonna talk about some of the greatest movie series of all time. Man, that's tough, bro. The movie industry and film is such a widespread space. Man, what's some of the ones that come to your top? And greatest is gonna be really hard, but I know we can do some favors for sure. Greatest is hard.
Man, it ain't hard for me, man. I got some of the greatest of all time, bro, in the memory bank. Don't even gotta look at no notes, bro. I'm ready.
What you got?
To go, bro. So I'm already gonna make a bold claim, especially since this is just now premiered and stuff like that. But I'm already talking about it as an instant classic.
Hold on.
John Wick series. The John Wick series.
You'll be ready to just jump out the window. No, go ahead. Let me let you get it out, man. What you got to say?
The John Wick series is one of the greatest movie series of all time. From 1 to 4, all fire. And let's just go this way, bro. Normally, when you think of movie series, you think of ones that are good, but have your favorite somewhere in the beginning or somewhere in the end, where there was a level of like downfall or breakdown or those moments where it just felt like fluff. Not John Wick. Every Wick has been fired. Every single one.
Hey, that's a line. Every wick has been fired. Ooh, that mug. Hey, that's a bar, bro. Hey, that's a bar, bro. I may have to take that mug, boy. That mug a bar, bro.
Every wick has been fired, man.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy in real time right there, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So as far as I'm concerned, that's gotta be one of the top ones.
Yeah.
When we think about movie series, I think also off the top. And this one is probably a little bit more debatable, but I think people are gonna rock with it. If you're a horror movie fan, which I think you are, because we've had this conversation, then I think it's so quality. Also, take the amount of movies they've had to make. They've had to make so many movies.
Yeah,
they've had to make so many movies, but this is fire. The Saw series, bro. Got to be one of the greatest movie series of all time. They've had to make 1,000 movies, bro. And all if you watch them, bro, the quality continues to remain. You could say some of the last couple were overkill, but even those were pretty good. Spiral, one of the last movies of the series with Chris Rock, even that was a solid film. So for me, bro, I'm saying
Hold on, I gotta stop, bro. I literally look, bro. I literally almost had to walk out of the theater when Spiral was on the TV. I ain't gonna lie. He was the one guy I said I don't want him near this series. I can't stand Chris Rock, bro. I'll tell you that right now, bro. Chris Rock has never been. Look, you. Hold on. And you started this. You really the one that got me on this soapbox right now. Because the other day on the other podcast, wherever when we talk so much, I don't even be knowing if we own the podcast at all. But when you told me, bro, you watched his Netflix special and you don't think you laugh once. This dude said, I don't think I laughed once, dog. So I proceed to try to turn it on to try to call your bluff, bro. And I didn't even finish it, bro, because it was just horrendously bad, bro. Man, dog. But I mean, outside of that, I am a horror fan. I love like the really gory stuff like Saw. Saw is one of my favorites. That's definitely one of my go-to series, dog, that I like to do the marathon. I respected John Wick series pick. My boy Keanu Reeves, he's been a part of two of the greatest. I would have to go back to The Matrix. I know it because I feel like to try to take the claim of the best, you have to have them all, one through however many they are, all be stellar. But number 4 shouldn't have came out. But those first 3 are solid. Dark Knight, that's another one that I have to put in the mix.
Absolutely. That's good.
Those are ones I can really kind of sit back and watch. And to get some action comedy, I gotta put. I keep on asking people this because, you know, from the surface level, you may think this over that, and I keep pairing Bad Boys versus Rush Hour. And a lot of people be one initially to say Bad Boys, and then they fall back and be like, you know what, I gotta go Rush Hour. And I'm with Rush Hour. Like that mug to me, it don't have none that I can't really watch or I'm just watching because it's the series. Bad Boy, all of them are not great, especially not the last one. Right? You kind of, it was so long between the last one and the one before that one, you was like ready to get back. But when you watched the movie, it wasn't the most knock out the park. It kind of felt like one of the ones that you was just kind of great to see them back in the same picture because we haven't seen Martin and Will in the same frame for, you know, Lord knows how long. But Rush Hour, man, I really enjoyed. They released a lot of their movies in the same, in a nice time window. They didn't drag them too long. But those are some of the ones that kind of immediately come to my mind. The Fast, I am a Fast and Furious fan, and they seem to. I think they about to be on their last one. I think 10 is the last one, and there's not many series that have 10 movies, right? They've always done a good job of bringing people to get people intrigued. You know, a lot of people kill me for, you know, or that movie, I should say, for just all the unrealistic stuff. But action movies are supposed to be unrealistic, bro. Like, you got technology and you trying to, you know, really utilize the evolution of technology to show all this crazy action. You know, you think of Mission Impossible, cats jumping on the side of the buildings, cars flying from building to building, and all this other stuff. So the fact they got 10 movies, and their weekend box offices be mega. You know what I mean? I think they got the record. Like, they up there like Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if I can really count Marvel in this because Marvel is like a universe, right? You would have to say something like the Iron Man series or Captain America. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would have to do that. You can't just say Marvel or just DC. Them are like houses. But, you know, they definitely would be in the conversation if people are counting them. And then you probably would have to talk about like the Star Wars and Star Trek as well, but I look at them a little bit differently. I mean, the amount of movies they got is ridiculous. So that's some of the ones on my mind, man.
Yeah, I think. It's hard though. Star Wars probably definitely. You know, I grew up on Star Wars, so for me, following the story arc, I think that they've done their job. It's an amazing movie series, but it doesn't quite fit the criteria of what I think about when I think about movie series. Even though
Yeah.
it is technically a movie series.
It is
So
technically.
Star
That's what I'm
Wars,
saying.
yeah, Star Wars is definitely goated though for sure. I'm trying to think, bro. Is there anybody that I really wanted to mention that I'm not giving credit to? The crazy fact that Keanu Reeves is part of two of some of the greatest movie series of all time is something special. I gotta
Oh, it's
admit.
special.
Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne, for that matter, actually, which is dope.
What you think about what you think about the how would you look at the Rocky movies extending themselves to the Creed? Do you look at that all as one piece or you breaking them up? Because if you do just the Creed is solid. If I just looked at that,
Creed
if you latch on the Rocky movies and let that story all be, it's pretty impressive too. That's over about 10
it
movies.
is. It is. The only problem is about two of the Rocky movies were pretty corny. That's the only problem. But yeah, but the Rocky series is also pretty good for its time and for what it was for sure. And I think Creed has actually taken Rocky to another level. So yeah, I'm gonna say that if I break them apart, Creed is really starting out the right way, and like I would love to see more of those Creed movies. But even if I keep them together, that's a pretty impressive story arc because it all flows
Oh, yeah.
from Rocky to Apollo to Mr. T to what's the major nemesis that came back, Russian cat.
I forgot old boy name. You took the tall, the tall cat.
Drago and his son and all them. So yeah, like it all makes perfect sense. So I think that's definitely one of the goats of movie series as well. I feel like I'm forgetting one though that's like
One that's
crazy.
a must. You got to put in the Harry Potter series, man.
Harry Potter series is pretty good.
Hey, what about this one? Hunger Games? You with that one?
If you like that type of thing, absolutely. Yes.
If you like that type of thing.
Yeah. I think both of those are a niche market. So Hunger Games and Harry Potter probably both belong. It's just I don't know too many dudes in the hood like, yeah, man.
It ain't universal enough.
Yeah. No, I had to read the books when I was a kid though. They made me in school. It was like, yo, you need to read this, you be fair. So it was like, all right, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I
Harry
didn't care.
Potter, man. That mother was, it definitely. What's up with that? What's that one movie I was thinking of? Final Destination? You ain't rocking with that? That's one of my.
No. A couple were fire, but nah, I'm not rocking with it as a whole. Nah.
Yeah. Did you see the last Avatar?
I didn't see two. No.
Yeah. I didn't see two either, but I loved the first one. But it was so long between the first and second one, I was almost out of it. But I heard good things about the second one too. So
Did you?
I did. I heard a lot of good things about those too. Yeah. But
Hey, word, I'm gonna really mess you up. What about Scream, bro?
Scream, I think Scream would probably be in that conversation, bro. When you talk
Okay.
about global relevance in just, if it's a movie that people all wanted to go together as a group, like Scream was number one in that mug, bro. Scream, scary movie. You know what I mean? Like them type of, scary movie, the comical side of Scream, but it was one of those ones. Halloween. I know. I got a friend. She actually is the girl that's on my other podcast, Tina Carter. She loves it, bro. She's a huge fan, man. She's a slasher fan though. So when it comes to Ghostface with Scream, Halloween, Jason, Michael Myers, Jeepers Creepers, she loves those. You know what I mean? And all those are series. But I think Scream is like the one. Scream and probably Halloween are the biggest ones at the university, a part of that type of thing. I'm more of a thriller, gore, like cats gotta survive like a certain game. Like that's why I love Saw so much. You know what I mean? Squid Games, I'm looking forward to that. These ain't movies, but they they I guess technically TV series. That's a different conversation though.
Yeah, that is. We can jump in that bag all day, but yeah, that's where I'm at as far as movie series are concerned. I really wish. I hope by the time we get off camera, I'm not like, yes, that's the one. But
Right.
I don't know.
I've been trying to run stuff down to hopefully strike something in your mind that you thought you forgot, but it seemed like you still thinking you forgot something. Boy.
Yeah, I'm still thinking I forgot it, but it's all good, bro. Because I feel like the picks that I had on top though Those are the ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones for sure. At least in our era, I know there's. You can also name Godfather. I don't know how familiar you are with that series, but you can name some of them.
Yeah, you can name some of those. I love 300, but the first one is the only one I absolutely love. 300 with Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
But I didn't really. What's that?
There's a series that people don't know that it actually goes together, but I thought it was extremely well done. And that is the Unbreakable series. Now, people don't know about Unbreakable. Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, original movie. That movie goes from that
Oh,
to
you
the
talking
movie
about with
Split.
that Split? Yeah, the Split. Yeah, I
And
couldn't
then from
get with that
Split, from Split goes to Glass.
when they in that crazy place.
Yo, that movie series, if you watch it, if you watch it in chronological, the way it's supposed to go, is actually incredible, bro. It's
See,
just that it wasn't tied together. It wasn't tied
Yeah.
together originally. People don't think about it together. But yeah, that's one of the
I
ones.
would have to. Split was amazing. You know, great performance by the guy. Now I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's always been somebody I loved. I forgot his name. Yeah.
McAvoy, James McAvoy. Shout out
Okay.
to James McAvoy.
Yeah, Split was. We got to put in there. This was Robert Pattinson before I really start to really give him the nod. What the heck is that vampire series, bro?
Oh, you talking about Twilight?
Twilight, yeah, we gotta get him some love. We gotta get that audience some love. You know the Twilight guys gonna come out and kill us, man.
That's true.
Nah,
What did you think about Denzel's Equalizer?
Equalizer is tough. Yeah, I like Equalizer best. Like, if is it in the all-time type of realm? I wouldn't say that. But it's all of them are pretty consistent. All of them are pretty consistent. Yeah, they are. I just think it's an older Denzel in an action movie, right? So Denzel in his prime, I think a lot of that stuff, back around, even if he was around that Book of Eli era, because he was cold in Book of Eli, he was still moving swiftly like he was young bull in there. So it's just an older Denzel, you know what I mean? But he's still, for where he's at in his career, he's doing amazing work still with a series like that. It made me think of something else, dog. The Bourne Legacy series. What you think about those?
Oh, Bourne is great. Love Bourne.
Yeah. You ain't gonna give a nod to Mission Impossible? You done. I can tell you about done with what's that boy named Tom Cruise? You done with him.
Hey, the movies ain't bad. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, you know what's? Hey, I thought this series was gonna be pretty dope, but it kind of took a crazy left, and maybe because I didn't understand the origins of it. But Pitch Black with Vin Diesel, the Reddick series. It's on Netflix right now. It's like top 10 movies in on Netflix right now. But Pitch Black was amazing. That's the first one of the Chronicles of Reddick. It just got kind of out of hand, and maybe if I go back and watch it now, I may have a different appreciation for it. But yeah, that mug was kind of. It was kind of like before its time. Like that movie, what's that mug called? I think it's called Immortals. That mug hard. Where the dude was like a ancient warrior, but he was fighting against gods, and then he finally cut this god, and he was like, he said something. It was one of them. I love movies with quotes where it's like you thought a guy. I never seen a god never bleed or something. It was something crazy like that, and I'm like, bro, that mug was hard, but that mug was. It kind of had those vibes, but this was back in early 2000s. I'm growing up. I'm like, bro, this mug ain't cold to me right now. But as I age now, I'm like,
right.
That mug way harder now. So it may be one of them type of situations where if I watch it in retrospect, I may have better feelings about it. So, yeah, man. What you got?
I got two for you real quick, and then we probably out of here. But I got two for you. 007, James Bond series.
Is it one? I mean, I think it gotta be in that. It gotta be in that realm. I mean, that movie ranges back to like what, the 60s or something. Like, probably the early ages of film in Hollywood. So it's gotta be in there. The favorite James Bond I came up on was like he ain't even in that mug no more. I mean, he was a real pretty boy. I don't even know Buddy's name.
Pierce Bronson.
Dark hair, tall cat. Yeah, that was the cat I was on. Yeah, so I mean, he had to be that's who I think of James. When you say James Bond, that's who I think of. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I think of him as well. Also, we're gonna give any love to my man Liam Neeson. Taken, man. We gonna give any love to that series? What's going on?
Oh man, see, I don't know. Liam Neeson is so consistent that it's almost to his detriment. Like he's so. And what I mean by that is, he's almost typecast. There's so many. You know, it's way more than 4 movies a part of the Taken series. It's just ain't named Taken.
Right.
I mean, that boy got so many movies where he's literally like lost something or somebody that he has to track down on a certain deadline, and he's using the same voice. Like, and you know, he's a master at making easy, comfortable watches. I'll give you that. You know, if you want a comfortable watch, Saturday afternoon, easy, chilling with your gal, you ain't got to be too glued to the screen. Oh, he's amazing for those. You know what I mean? He's amazing for those, dog.
I agree, dog. I agree.
He's amazing for those, man. Hour 28 minutes. Oh yeah, he'll get you right in that space, man. But yeah, man, we gonna be chopping up some of these loose, timeless topics more, man, so y'all can chime in and get in the comments. I know these the ones that the fans and viewers really like to chop up, man. You get to talking about film and actors and things of that nature. They really like to get in on that spiel, man. But what's popping for you the rest of the week, my G? What we doing?
Yeah, man. Just go tap in, like, comment, subscribe first and foremost to the Word of Clarity. Definitely got that going. Myself putting out some more content, got that going. Just still working, man. Still grinding. At the end of the day, lot of things coming down the pipeline. Work that I'm working on behind the scenes, and then that will bring itself to the forefront. So stay tuned. Probably also gonna make an interest into the music space. So we'll see how that goes, man. And this cat is going down, huh, Young Jock?
Young Jock, bro. Hey, we can pull up Young Jock. Come on, Word of Clarity, what we doing, dog? Nah, that's what's up, dog.
Best one-hit wonders, man. Shortlist catalog, man.
Yeah. So what? You talking about you got some music coming out soon, my G?
Yeah, man. Been working, bro. So we'll see how it all comes together, and if it does what it's supposed to do, man. Music will hit the pipeline. So.
That's what's up, my G. Speaking on that music note, dog, I got some the moderate campaign ain't over yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of on the side of being a believer, pushing the record more than past its release. So, we got some things coming out for that too, man. And we already got the next single and kind of working on the visuals right now for the Word Season EP that'll be coming this summer. So I'm excited about that, man. A lot going on in the music world for me, working with other artists and producing. Some success stories are brewing on the way, you know what I mean? And can't wait for y'all to get all that news and good news. But, the podcast world was popping too, man. We here giving y'all podcasts, trying to be weekly. Ain't trying to have too many breaks, you know what I'm saying? But more guests on the way, man. More guests on the way. Some more close friends and possibly some artists and athletes and coaches and things of that nature, trying to open up this platform for more people to be able to tell their story, get their opinions, and debate some of these topics with us. So, y'all stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all hop online like Kenny G said. Follow us at the Word of Clarity. Also, the Word of Clarity podcast on all platforms where the podcast is available: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. So make sure y'all check us out, man. I've been seeing y'all in the comments, man. Y'all show a lot of love on the TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. Appreciate all the love, man. We trying to make a big splash and, going into the rest of the year with a lot of momentum. So y'all keep it up. Much love. It's your boy Word from the Word of Clarity podcast with my boy Kenny G. Know what time it is, man. We'll catch y'all next time. Yeah.
Yes, sir.